Yo guys, what's going on? This is Yorkie Man here, and welcome back to another episode of Bringing Back Bolton. First of all, I just want to start by saying thank you very much for the support on the initial first 3 episodes. I mean, it's been ridiculous. This series has, people have responded to it very well. I come back at a very frustrating time. We've played the first 3 months of the season. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the first 3 months of the season. Before I get into fixtures, games played, you can see here already that we are 7th in the league. It's been 3 months. The season's been going for 3 months, and we've played 22 league games. We've near enough played half a season in 3 months. Now, we all knew what was going to happen with this save. We all knew there was no money. So keeping key players was important, but we were going to have a small squad in terms of actual, starting first team players. In terms of the best players in the squad, we were going to have a small squad. That was always going to be the scenario. It's the unfortunate situation we're in with the horrendous debt. This has been the most infuriating time of playing this. We nearly got sacked. We went on a run. I mean, the board were extremely harsh, to be honest with you. The board were extremely harsh. We nearly did get sacked, and it was ridiculous. We turned it around, it's fine, but it was ridiculous that we nearly got sacked given how early we were in the season, and actually not how badly we were doing. It was just a small poor run, but the board aren't nice people. But basically, 22 games in 3 months, guys. We've not had one chance to rest. Players have been playing on 80% fitness, on 75% fitness. I have been absolutely destroyed. We've had games where the team has had great output and we have lost. It's been horrendous. It's not been enjoyable. As you can see, Ryan Edmondson, 16 goals, average rate. He's been great, but he can't score every game. And especially when he's on, 80% fitness at the start of the match. It's been... I literally blame the entirety of our inconsistent form on the fact that we've played a game every 2 or 3 days. There has been a game every 2 or 3 days. I'm going to show you the schedule, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. Now, we're not going to go through the tactics in every episode anymore. We're playing the exact same set of tactics. It's the same 3 tactics that it was at the end of last season. It's not changed. I changed a tactic at one point and tried a counter tactic. And then decided against it, decided the team couldn't play it. We've gone back to the exact same 3. And then that's the way it's going to stay probably for this season, unless we get a new tactic. And to be honest with you, I don't blame any of the results on the tactics. I blame the majority of the results on the sheer fact that we're playing this many games. I mean, there's some teams like Charlton that maybe 3 months in, 18 games. Is this... I'm sorry, but I'm sure this is not the norm to have played half a season in the first 3 months. I am 100% positive that that is not normal. And now, in 2020, I'm sure this is not because of the Qatar World Cup. And we're in League One anyway. Why does the Qatar World Cup affect us? But that's 2022. I'm positive about that. So I have no idea why the fixtures are like this. Moving on now for the next few months, it's like 4 games a month. Some months it's only 4 games because there's a cup game. So for me, if anybody has any idea of why the game has done this, please let me know, because it's nearly ruined this series. Having this many games in this quick succession with this kind of squad that we've got has absolutely destroyed us. And I've nearly, that rage where you want to break stuff and bang your head against the table. We've been there a couple of times, only a couple, probably about 8 times just in this recording session, just in this session of games. But let's hit schedule and you'll see what I mean. There we go, guys. The schedule screen. As you can see, there's a lot of Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. There is only one. Let's just have a quick look. There's one respite, and it's this one. Saturday the 5th to Saturday the 12th is the only time we've had respite. The rest of the season has been Saturday, Wednesday. Now, I just want to quickly look at last season. No, it wasn't like that last season. Look, this is the first 3 months last season. I don't know why it doesn't show the formation for those games. That's weird. But this is the last 3 months, and pretty active. Saturday, Wednesday, August. But apart from that, very much fairly spread out. There was a couple of midweek games, but it wasn't the norm. And then when we look at this season, it's evident that the months are absolutely chocker. I don't know why. I really don't know why. And it's so infuriating now when I think about it, because it's absolutely destroyed our start to the season. Now, we got off to a very good start to the season with some great results. Gillingham's not a terrible result, but we beat Derby, we beat Shrewsbury, we beat Lincoln, we beat Luton. This just goes to show we've played Lincoln twice in the league already. I don't understand why. I would love to know why, but I don't understand why. We beat Luton, we beat Walsall, draw against Salford. We went out in the Carabao Cup on penalties, but not end of the world. We beat Bolton, we beat Port Vale, we beat Rochdale. And then the problem is I'd started having a few more niggling injuries, players that couldn't play. We couldn't keep the same consistent squad going out. Players were very tired. Rotation was starting to become an issue. And you also have this element in Football Manager. You always have this element with young players that sometimes they just turn up. It's the way it works with youth in this. There's an inconsistency to having a full group of young players. It's just the way it works. And sometimes they turn up, the academy players, and sometimes they don't. And the problem is if you have one or two in the team, if they don't turn up, it's very easy to fix that. But we were getting to a stage where I had, at times, the average age of the squad out on the pitch must have been 19 in certain scenarios. It's really has been horrendous. The Rochdale result was fairly decent, Charlton, but then there's some frustrating ones coming up here, guys. And I played these in this session, so I probably want to go through with it. But I mean, look at this, and I want to be honest with you. When they scored, they weren't on many chances. They weren't on many chances when they scored. But the fact that we have 62% possession, 17 shots, and 12 on target. 12 on target is a good amount of shots in this game. And just absolutely nothing. Just couldn't kill the game off. I mean, they scored in the 77th and 78th minute. There just wasn't much I could do about it. And it became a bit of a reoccurring theme. The Wimbledon game, again, I felt so hard done by. We scored in the 10th minute, they scored in the 16th. So quite quickly after. They scored in the 25th, we scored in the 33rd. They scored in the 50th. But it just, look at this. This is just... Everything that was being fired at us for long periods of this time period were going in. Now, we were playing two centre-backs that I wouldn't normally play. We were playing Senior and Zuma. They're not my starting centre-backs, but I didn't have a choice. They had to play. But 6 shots and 5 on target. Okay, we let them have 5 on target, but with just no resistance. It means they scored 3. Simple maths, but it just no resistance, and it was nice that we managed to make it 3-3. But again, I wasn't happy about that. I was disappointed because of the way we were playing. Lincoln is the same. This game was absolutely infuriating. They scored within 6 minutes, first shot on target again, and this is just such a common theme for us. First shot on target, Ryan Edmondson in the 23rd minute. He's been so pivotal again. If you didn't know, we got him back. I didn't mention that we loaned him back, but we loaned him back, and he's so important to us. He's massively important to us. But then, you carry on, Scully, 40th minute. And again, we rescue it. But look at this. 20 shots, 11 on target, 6, 3 on target. It's just, some of these games were just so infuriating because of those scenarios. And these scenarios have happened so consistently. If we look at a lot of the games where we've lost, the 3-2 to Colchester was just, I felt like pulling my hair out. 27 shots, 11 on target. We lost 3-2 and we just threw the game away, just absolutely destroyed us on the counter, and I'm finding this is becoming more apparent now. Bristol Rovers, a team we really should be beating. We had 23 shots, guys. 23 shots, 12 on target, and we lose 3-0. Now, I'm not saying that, we considered an own goal. We fell apart. We just gave them the game. Now, that's not the big issue. What the big issue is that with this kind of output in a match, you've got to score. And we didn't. And it's been evident that if Edmondson isn't up for the game, we're poor. And, you've seen names here, Stanley, Giles. You've seen names of players that are the kids. The old statement, can't win anything with kids. We're finding that out the hard way and nearly getting sacked because of it, which is infuriating because we've just given no resources whatsoever. This is the run of 3 games where we nearly got sacked. Now, I'm pretty sure if we hadn't have beaten Fleetwood, we might have got sacked. I'm not 100%, but we might have got sacked. But then we turn it around, we beat Fleetwood. Beat Fleetwood, who were a team that are right up there with us. It was in the 94th minute, Eddie Brown. I was so excited. But then Doncaster. And we have to look at this, again, objectively. And it's so ridiculous. 14 shots, 12 on target. To a team that are lower in the league, way lower in the league, having a rough time. We just didn't turn up. We just didn't turn up at all. But again, you look at the squad. We're playing a centre-back that isn't our usual centre-back. We were playing players that were absolutely knackered. We're playing wingers that aren't really good enough to have any right. Darcy got injured for about 4 weeks. And 4 weeks at this stage is like 6, 7, 8 games he missed. Which is a lot of games. Usually 4 weeks, he misses a month. It might be, let's say, 4, 5 games tops. He missed a lot of games. He missed a lot of matches, which was really frustrating because he's been so key to the team. And we managed to slowly turn it around a little bit. The Wickham result was fantastic, but a lot of it came because they had a player sent off. And the MK Dons result again was a good result. So maybe we've bounced back now. Maybe it's fixed. Maybe next time I come back to you, we've been sacked. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm being honest with you. This is one of the most difficult saves. Maybe you could say one of the most difficult saves, but one of the most difficult saves because of the expectation that's put on us. We've spent nothing. We've brought very little in. We're literally using youth squad players, and the board want playoffs. I mean, it's crazy. The board are maniacs. They're absolute maniacs. We're in tons and tons of debt. And yeah, they want playoffs. Now, if they'd have just said top half of the table, I'd have been like, okay, this is fair enough. My own personal feeling is I want to be pushing for playoffs or automatic. But this kind of scenario has really, really hurt us for the season. An injury in October. So this is when Darcy goes down sometime in October. Is it just before October he goes down? Let's have a look for the game that Darcy goes down. Right, guys, I can't find where he got his injury, but I did notice that Sunderland was the last game he played. So he's missed this. He's missed that chunk of games. He's probably our best player. If we're being realistic, he's probably our best player, and Edmondson really relies on Darcy a lot. And that is the chunk of games that he has missed. Now, if the nothing to do with the injury, if the fixture congestion wasn't like this, he wouldn't have missed that many games. It's just really insane to play, if you count the cup games, we're looking at like 26 games maybe. Okay, maybe I've overshot it. 25 games. I mean, how many cup games was there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that it? Just 4. So there was 4 cup games. So, no, right. So we've played 22 plus the 4. So we've played 26 games in 3 months. It is horrendous, and it really has. It's been very detrimental to our season. Now, we're very lucky. I mean, there's some teams here that have games in hand. To be honest with you, we've played aligned with a few other teams. We played the most. There's a few teams that have games in hand. But we're lucky that we are so close to second. And that I do believe now, with the schedule back to a normal schedule, we can try and find form and pick up a run again while having a fully fit squad, while having the players that we need fit and ready to go. I think we can do well. I do think the squad, when we have our full starting lineup, it's up there with the League One sides. But the problem is when we don't have our full starting lineup and we're playing the kids, let's look at the team. When we're playing the youngsters, which make up a huge part of our team, it takes you a while to get to the 20-year-olds. And then, look, I mean, if you count Remy Matthews in it, that's our experienced core. Ali Crawford, who I haven't re-signed to a new contract, but has stuck around. I couldn't afford to. Will Buckley, who I had no choice. I couldn't loan another winger. I needed him to stay. I didn't have a choice. Luke Murphy, who took a big pay cut. He's now only on $3,000 a week. Jack Hobbs again, who took a big pay cut. And Remy Matthews, the goalkeeper. So if you're saying that's our experienced core, you know, I mean, you could chuck in maybe Delaney and Emmanuel as experienced to a degree players. This is the team. And there's so many of those young players that are having to play games that are not ready to be playing those games. Now, we have some players here that are first-team starters. You know, you got Edmondson, Thomas is a good rotation. You got Boone, who's now established him as a first-team starter. Darcy, a first-team starter. Politic, so on and so forth. But once you move away, if we go from ability, there's not much to write home about. Let's be honest. This is probably first-team quality. And then these guys are on the brink of being first team. Good rotation players, not bad. And then we've got this core. Now, a lot of them are youngsters, but this core group of players, they're extremely young, you know. Apart from Will Buckley, between the age of 19 and 17, all of them, and they're having to play a lot of games. A lot more games than you would want them to play. You know, McPhee's played 4 games. He's not ready to play 4 games, you know. Eddie Brown's been all right, actually. I'm impressed with his improvements. And yeah, it just and this core group here as well just goes to show you. You know. Asuran's actually been very good, to be honest with you, but he's had to play 13 games, and look at his condition. Look at some of the players' conditions. It's an issue for me, really, is if Boom doesn't play and Giles can't play, I don't have a left back. We played Jordan Thomas at left back for the last game that you saw against MK Dons. So these are the scenarios we're faced with. We're not blessed. That's our superstar group. That's the 4-star group. These are our superstars. Don't get me wrong, there's tons of potential here, but that's our superstar group. Now, I'd like to add into the superstar group these two. And Politic. Giles hasn't been great. He's played as a backup to Boone. It's the best I could get in. But this, to me, they're my superstar group. They're key players that if they don't start, they're missed. You know, Darcy, Brockbank, Emmanuel, Edmondson, Boone, and Politic. If they don't play, we're not the same team. We're not a good team. We're not strong enough. These guys are the core. They need to be on the pitch. Now, what you'll notice about the core, 3 of them are defensive. If one of them is missing or 2 of them are missing, we are extremely bad defensively. We are really bad defensively. And Remy Matthews hasn't been great this season. He's made some mistakes. I don't know why, but he's made some mistakes. So this is the issue we're kind of facing at the moment. Is with all these games in quick succession, 9 times out of 10, these players aren't being able to play. Now, there isn't another good left winger. There just isn't. There just really isn't. Now, Connor Stanley's come in, and he's done fairly well, and I'm very happy with him when he has played, whether he's played on the left or the right. He's been very impressive when he's come in. Again, though, he's only 18 years of age, and, you know, he's progressing, but it's going to take time. So I'm very happy when he has come in. And there's players as well in the midfield that we've had a very young midfield core at a time, you know, with Sonny Graham and Marcus Asuran. We've had to do that, and it's worked to a degree. But sometimes when they don't play good, they really don't play good. And I've noticed that with young players in Football Manager. You either get these glowing performances or you get a non-performance. And I think that's probably to do with the age. They either stand out or they don't play well at all. And unfortunately for us, that's been pretty consistent. Some of these players have been very poor. And right and left midfield's an issue. We don't have Ryan Tulloch this year. We couldn't get him back. They wanted money for him. And I'm really restricted when it comes to that. So I am going to do, in hopefully in January, if we're still in the job in January, I'm hopefully going to go out there and I'm going to try and bring some players in. I'm going to try and loan some players in. I'm going to try and bolster us where I can. And we're probably going to have to start looking at getting rid of some of these players. Some of these players that I want to be around and that I want to train and I want them to be great. But ultimately, they're going to give us good money now. And that is starting to become a reality. And unfortunately, one of the names high on the list to potentially go would be Darcy. Now, if we can get... He's valued at 1.5. So I think if I can get top tier money for Darcy, it would put us in a bit... And he'll only go for top tier money. I'm not going to allow him to go for anything less. It will put us in a position where we can strengthen the squad enough to get out of this division. Because we really have been... We've been done over by the schedule. You can see the schedule now. 4 games a month. 4 games this month. 4 games that month. 5 that month. 4 games. The much kinder. We don't play another league game now until the 14th. They're much kinder. They're arranged in a much friendlier manner. The key here is we have to get playoffs. Without a doubt. We have to get playoffs. We will be sacked if we don't get playoffs. But I want automatic. And we are still in a position where we can achieve that. We just need to keep plugging away now. Hopefully keep our main players fit. And try and put the frustrate, because I was getting really frustrated because we were having runs. We're having such inconsistent form, and I'm coming to the tactical screen to pick my team. So I'm on this screen trying to pick my team, and I'm constantly looking at it and thinking, I don't have anyone fit here. You know what I mean? I don't have anyone fit here. We've got a game in 2 days' time at this stage. So you imagine how recovered these guys are in 2 games' time. It's not much. It's not much. And we're having them every 2 games, every 2 days or 3 days. Every 3 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, then we're playing again. And as much as we could have rested players and so on and so forth, the injuries started to happen. I mean, we've got players that just outright, I'm being told, just rest this guy. You've played him through exhaustion time and time again now. And it's punished us. It really has, because like I say, we don't have depth. There's not any depth here. There's just a load of good young players, but they're not ready yet. And we don't have any depth. So hopefully the transfer market, when we come to it, because you can see we're minus in the wage budget. I did what I could. Financially, we're sitting on this. We're sitting on a whole heap of debt. A whole heap of debt that is bleeding the club dry. The best thing that could happen to me right now is we get a takeover and the board are more understanding to the situation. This board, they're morons, and they're really winding me up now. But they're not very good. So if we look at the transfer history, as you can see, there was a few players I mentioned there that you didn't know about. We made a bit of money off some youngsters that we're probably never going to see the light of day in the team. Ryan Giles, the only loanee we could get. As you saw, we just re-loaned back players we had last season, Thompson and Edmondson. Brought in Brad Bolton. Again, he's just a youngster for the future, and if he makes it, he makes it. Connor Stanley actually was one I was very excited about because I like the winger role, and he basically came in as my backup right winger instantaneously. And he's been good. He's been very good for us. I'm happy we got him. Dennis is in the under-23s. He looks like he could be decent in the future. Again, we're putting these positions where it's youngsters. And if we don't use them, hopefully we'll get some money back for them. But Ben as well, he's just okay. But we have to take these punts because I might even just get some money. Although I do like the look of Dan Cashman. His pace and everything is what entices me. He's technically not a very good player, but he's a very rapid player. And we can utilise that. He's also got a little bit of value to him. So even if we don't utilise that, maybe he'll go for an okay amount of money. I have no idea. But that was it. We couldn't do all. Pre-season was very much for me. It's hit continue. I re-signed everyone I could to new contracts. Unfortunately, that cost us some money. I cut down every contract of a aging player that was coming back to the club. But that's the best I could do, and to cut down the wage budget the most I could, and that's just going to be the way it keeps going. But the expectation is really it's quite insane. I mean, we're on course for working within the wage budget, which we all know that that's not true. But they're disappointed in the league, and for me, I don't understand that. We're just about at the halfway stage. Just about at the halfway stage, and we're I think, a point outside the playoffs. So, playoffs minimum is exactly what it looks like we're going to achieve, yet they're disappointed that we're going to achieve that. I don't know. It's mind-boggling to me at the moment. But hopefully, like I say, guys, we'll have a better second run to the season and we can keep progressing. But I have jibber-jabbered on enough. I'm looking now, 27 minutes. I don't understand how I must have really had that much to talk about on this save. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and show some support for us just trying to keep the ball rolling at Bolton. We really needed promotion that first season, in my opinion. They want us to win promotion in 21-22 season, so we don't even have to win promotion this season. We just have to get the playoffs. Now, me personally, if I'm being 100% honest, I think we need to get promotion this year. As much as the young players that we've got now are going to improve next season and we're probably going to be even stronger in League One, the way the finances are going at the moment, I really think we need promotion. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. If you're new around here, hit subscribe. Why haven't you already? Like and comment, as per usual. And I'll see you, hopefully still as Bolton manager, in about 3 months. In game, not in real life.